Hello, my name is Mike, and I'm going to do a tour of my Geek Room. I've planned on doing this for some time now. This is all going to be one long cut, so if I goof up, that's why I'm not really well educated in the ways of video editing. So, but anyway, and you might see some dust. It's been a while since I've really done a deep clean on the room. But here at the entrance I have my X-Men posters, my favorite of the X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, and probably my least favorite, but it's a cool poster, Dark Phoenix, and then X-Men 2 on the wall. And we got some signed comics here, like Ron Lim, Michael Golden, Will Spertasio, Jacob Chabot, Greg Land, Michael Allred, David Mack, Gail Simone, and a couple of figures, Spider villains. I've retired up to a little area up there. Also hanging when you come in is the old Toy Biz Hobgoblin. And got my CDs with a couple Star Wars things and my Werewolf Pink Floyd record. R2D2, and a couple more Wolverine posters. That Search for Wolverine poster, it's got that glare on it right here, but that is an amazing poster. There's so many different Wolverines throughout the ages hidden in there. It's fun to look at. Same with the Wedding of Deadpool, it's fun to look at because of all the different characters that are on it. And there's my Excalibur poster collection. Excalibur being like my absolute favorite comic book of all time. There's a Bob McLeod New Mutants print. And then a couple other X-Men posters. Art Adams, Tom Grummett, of course Alan Davis, Fall of the Mutants there. These are my cabinets. They come out at a pretty great length here, filled with comics. All my back issues. I have two of these big filing cabinets filled. There's this one and there's another one on the other side of my desk. I got my excess Wolverine and Deadpool Marvel Legends figures hiding out up here. They make so many of these. And there's my daughter and my wife. We got a little group. And this is some X-Men battle scene against the Sentinel. I have on top of my desk. Original 5 members there. It's a Shadowcat sketch Alan Davis did. My good friend Joseph got for me. I'm so appreciative. Actually, he got me all of these sketches. It's a John Romita Jr. one there. And John Romita Jr. Daredevil. And that was given to me back in 2001. A friend of mine named Misty drew that. Spider-Man. It looks really good. And then some pictures of me with some comic creators over here. John Romita Jr. holding that sketch. Bendis with my wife and Mark Bagley and Joe Quesada, and they signed this comic here. Bendis signed this one. Some cool stuff. And my Mysterio collection. Some other figures just kind of randomly sitting there. My one Buffy figure in the room. Some X-Men pops with a whole bunch of cartoons. Here's some Masters of the Universe minifigures. Really enjoy. These were not officially released, they're knockoffs, but they're really well done knockoffs. And I got like behind them Cobra Commander, Serpentor, some Doctor Who stuff, my MODOK mug, which I love, and some other glasses. gifted to me or collected. And here's a Colossus that I plan on. It's a Marvel Select Colossus. I plan on shortening, but I'm kind of afraid to. This is a hairpiece for a figure that I'm going to be working on once I get another piece in for an angel. Over here I have my X-Men cabinet. Days of Future Past there, giant size X-Men, Cap Britain and Forge, early figures. And then inside here, this is my falls over. Somebody did. It's my Shadow Cat shelf. That main blue, the one in the middle there, the blue Shadow Cat, my good friend Seth got for me, was a surprise, and man, I was shocked when he got that for me. But you know, these are various figures and statues. My daughter made this one right here out of clay, hardened it. That was cool. And then we have just more older X-Men figures, Toy Biz figures, and some other knockoff Lego figurines that I don't have any other place for. Like Captain Britain, I'm really fond of that. And some of the old Funko minis. And some more figures. I think the Wolverines are over here, yeah. Some more random figures. And then the bottom here, that first Wolverine that came out with Toy Biz. And some 3 and 5 inch figures. Definitely nothing else would fall over. And this used to be an entertainment center that my dad built, but like my TV is too big for it, so we just recently put this middle shelf in right here. But at the bottom I have a whole bunch of books, like the Absolute Watchmen doesn't fit anywhere else, so it's stuck in there. A whole bunch of magazines there. And over here and behind Thanos, can't really see, but there's my Harry Potter books, my Twin Peaks books, and a couple other various books. Those vault books they used to put out. And there's a lot of Art of Star Wars and a whole bunch of Star Trek books back here. It's kind of hard to see. And this shelf is my He-Man. I've been collecting the Origins figures. That's pretty much all that's come out so far. And here's my Star Trek Next Generation figure collection, along with the ships that I have, the Enterprise D, B, A, and the classic Kirk and Spock on the front. And we have Black Series Star Wars collection. I didn't really get too into the collection, just kind of got the basic 40th anniversary figures, and then kind of added a few more to it, like Darth Maul and Boba Fett there, Lando, and a couple of the sequel trilogy characters. And then my Gru PVC figures, that's pretty much the only material they've ever put out for Gru, other than like a statue that's like impossible to find. And some Deadpool minifigures. And then here we have some orphaned Iron Man and Spider-Man Marvel Legends mixed in with my Age of Apocalypse Good Guy set. And we have some more books kind of in these little cubbies, like DC and Marvel chronology books, and a couple other figures along with it. Same here, encyclopedias. Kirby book is really, really good read. And up top I have a couple more Lord of the Rings figures. Beavis and Butthead, of course, little bobbleheads. A couple of Watchmen there. Bird of Prey. Some more sequel trilogy Star Wars stuff. Conan and Skeletor, and then Avengers Tower is a knockoff Lego set, but it's really cool. I like it a lot. Alright, and then we have, this is a drawing Jacob Chabot drew, I commissioned at Comic Conway, of my daughter and her little kitty that she used to carry around with some cartoon characters. She didn't like it anymore, so I was like, oh, I'll put it in my geek room, I guess. I didn't want it just to go into storage. But yeah, a couple other. But here's the crown jewel of the collection, or of the room, my Marvel Legends. All of those shelves are my hero collection, and over here, all of these shelves are my villains. And I guess we'll start, well, before we get to those, we'll look at these. We have more knockoff Legos, but these are some of my X-Men that didn't fit on the other shelves. And then these are all comic book guys, the X-Men all across the top. And then we get into towards the middle, after the X-Men villains, we get into the cosmic characters, then Spider-Man villains, and then just all together a mixture of villains. And of course we got Spider-Man being chased by the Green Goblin there, with Dr. Octopus waiting in the wings. I wish I had better lighting in here. It's kind of hard to see some of this. And then up top we have Cloak and Dagger and Stan Lee, a whole bunch of different Stan Lees with the Fantastic Four. Then a whole bunch of Thor, Asgardians, and Avengers all throughout. I really like this Hulk transforming. There's Bruce Banner. Focus. And then he's transforming into the Hulk. And then, you know, various other characters. At the bottom we have like some Spider-Man people, and it finishes off with some Guardians. Then I have a collection of spider people all hanging on a web there. And then over here I just have a couple of box sets and some video, or some board games. Just kind of sitting there. The rest of all that's kind of storage. All my different heads and hands and whatnot from Marvel Legends. Alright, well, we'll start the shelf from over here. Here's the Alpha Flight collection. And then we have giant size X-Men. All new, all different team. We need a Banshee in there. Then we have, some of these are customs, like that Angel is a recent custom. I still, that headpiece I showed you on my desk is going to go to a head that's going to be a classic Angel headpiece, but it's not in yet. But that's the original 5 there, with Professor X in the middle. Then I have my custom Excalibur team. I'm really proud of how those turned out. Then we have some Shi'ar mixed in with Starjammers and 90s X-Men here. Those 2 Starjammers were 2 other customs I made. Then we have some of the X Factor with Archangel kind of hanging over. Then going into the New Mutants / X-Force section. And then we have some, you know, various odds and ends with the Deadpool crew. And it's finished off with the Outback team. That's the Colossus I was going to work on that's in pieces. It's supposed to go in here. A couple of customs I made. That Rogue and that Psylocke and that Havoc. Next up is the Avengers. And they're all up top. We got, you know, Vision. Vision's on here twice, but I love that translucent Vision. Miss Marvel, Black Widow, of course the Alex Ross trio that they put out last year. It's really nice. That Hulk is just the best Hulk they've ever made. Then we have Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Hawkeye, Vision, some other characters, the Spider Women. Then we have the more street level kind of characters, Daredevil, Ghost Rider, and so on. And that Spidey, black suit Spidey hanging in there. And then that morphs into the cosmic characters here. I love the way that Silver Surfer is posed. Doctor Strange. That's a custom Adam Warlock as well. Beta Ray Bill is kind of hiding in the back. Back to some more street level characters. Then we got the next wave. And it goes into the Fantastic Four section. Those Walgreens Fantastic Four figures are just some of my favorites. And we get into the Black Panther, kind of like the Kings and Queens area with Namor, Black Panther, Shuri, Black Bolt, and Medusa, with Johnny Storm kind of hanging, flying there and there. Same thing with Namor. And try to get a good view of the Spider-Man shelf here. For some reason, my Punk Spidey doesn't stand up very well. He's just kind of leaning there right now. Got putty on his feet and everything. But got our civilians up front, in front of Ben Reilly and Spider-Girl. There's Matt Murdock. A couple of Spider pals like Prowler and Silver Sable, Black Cat. And kind of a collection of, small collection of the Spider-Verse. There's Miles and Gwen. And then we have our Iron Man section. Tony Stark out front. Again, I've kind of consolidated a lot of my Iron Men. Over there I have the Watcher and my custom Eternity I made out of a Spider-Man 12-inch figure. And above all this, there's just a collection of signed comics. They kind of span all the way across each one of them. Got the signatures on. That Rima X one there of X-Men 275, that's from Finland. I don't know how I found it, but yeah, it has Chris Claremont, Jim Lee, and Scott Williams signatures on it. So, I got that. My wife got that for me for Father's Day a few years back. I was really happy with that. But then we have our Thor section. Woo! It's kind of hard to see everybody. I put a blue cape on Valkyrie. It looks kind of cool. Odin kind of hovering above everyone. And then various heroes, odds and ends kind of through here. There's Cloak and Dagger, a couple of Guardians of the Galaxy, Deathlock, a couple of Defenders, some Thunderbolts. That rounds out the hero section. Oh, almost fell over. And now let's look over at here at the bottom below everything. I got a couple of Lego sets in there. There's my Blackbird, and can't really see it very well. There's some Avengers popcorn tins and pops. And then some more Lego sets here. Some legitimate Lego sets, not knockoffs this time. And we'll start with the X-Men villains. Ugh, that Lady Deathstrike I tried. That was the first time I ever tried to alter a figure, and I messed up on the face really bad. But yeah, Onslaught, the Reavers, and then the Hellfire Club. Really cool set. Mojo and Spiral, and that Nimrod is so awesome. And we have Juggernaut and Black Tom, Silver Samurai, Mega Red, Dark Phoenix, Magneto, and this Shadow King. Oh, love it. Yeah, some Brotherhood. Again, that's Sauron. They really knocked it out of the park with some of these Build-A-Figures. Then we have Age of Apocalypse, baddies, Sinister, regular Apocalypse, and a couple of Broods. Now let's go down to the Spider-Man section, villains. There's some more comics out on the wall. Another Kitty Pryde's first appearance signed by Claremont. But, yeah, we got Rhino, followed by the Sinister Six, which that Electro, I was very happy when they put him out. I altered the tentacles on Dr. Octopus. And some more baddies: Scorpion, Hydro Man, Chameleon, a couple of goblins. Then we have our symbiotes. I really like that. I can't remember his name. Morph? Oh my god. I wish I could edit this stuff. I'm bad. Okay, let's move on. Tombstone. I kind of wish they did Tombstone in the suit and tie. That was kind of how I always pictured him. And then the newer Kingpin. I was glad they got that. Or not, they released that so that I could turn the old one into Shadow King. Doom and Mole Man, Kang. Can't wait to replace him with the new one, the leader. And then we're into the Hydra. Still love that Baron Zemo. Wish they would put out a new Red Skull. Arnim Zola, one of my favorites. MODOK. And then some of the Serpent Society. I got Tiger Shark in there for some reason. Now I have to get a step ladder out, which I should have this ready. Sorry. To show the top. And here, we'll look at these signed comics again. That Claremont and Alan Davis signed my Excalibur #3, which was my pretty much introduction into the X-Men world. One of my favorite comic books of all time. But yeah. Signed books going across. But yeah, this is just a collection of random baddies, some Iron Man villains, Captain America villains, and I never replaced that claw. I thought that claw was just fine. The same thing with Pyro. I was just pleased with my old one. I didn't see the point of replacing him. You can barely see Abomination in the back there. Black Knight and Ultron. It's a Marvel Select Ultron, but I think he's way better than anything Marvel Legends has ever put out. The Wrecking Crew. Hidden back there he is. Pulling a blank again. The old Hulk. That's all Maestro. There we go. And also hidden back there is the old Toy Biz Onslaught. Yeah, Thanos, Death, Galactus, the first Build-A-Figure. Terex is kind of hidden in my Asgardians. And then Mephisto. Well, another Marvel Select. And it's just an awesome figure. Alright, so that's the villains. It's my prized collection. I love it so much. And then I have a spinner rack. A friend of mine that used to work at a grocery store, they were getting rid of it. They were about to throw it in the trash, and he was like, wait, I know someone who would want that. And I'm so glad he did. And on top of my bookshelves, I have along the top all my X-Men pops. I try not to get into the pop collecting because it's just too much. Too many things they put out. They put a lot of cool stuff out, but I'm also kind of obsessive where I get like one. Like I know I was wanting to get the Fantastic Four, and I was like, I can't just get like a couple. I'd have to get the whole set if I got. It's pathetic. So I limit myself to just the X-Men. I do have some Batman stuff, so that's cool. The Adam West package back there. That was a good one. And then Jason Voorhees. Well, behind these pops are my Captain America collection. And it's only really because I have so many Captain Americas, because basically Build-A-Figures. And behind them are like popcorn tins and cups from the movies. And here we have the MCU stuff, and I'm just not into getting the movie figures. But I do have some. There's some older FF. I've modified that Invisible Woman and that Johnny Storm a little bit. Old Toy Biz, Doctor Doom, Marvel Select, Juggernaut. That Hulk is still a really nice Hulk, and I'm still a big fan of that Man Thing, but I just replaced him with the newer one. And then some random X-Men stuff, just kind of scattered about. Marvel Select Electro there. And then we have the other crown jewel of this room, my graphic novel collection. And yeah, I could probably go on and on about this. I'm so happy because we have the entire Silver Age X-Men right here in the Masterworks, 6 volumes of the Masterworks. And then these 2 volumes are like the collection of X-Men appearances in other books while the title was in reprint mode before Giant Size X-Men. And then, of course, you know, Classic X-Men and Giant Size X-Men hardcovers here, followed by the Uncanny X-Men Omnibuses Volume 1 through 3, which, geez, this is X-Men 94 all the way through, what, 175? And then they're about to put out a 4th volume, and then that will just leave one more oversized omnibus that would go right here, and that would make it complete, that would fill this entire gap, and it would be all oversized hardcover from here all the way until End of Age of Apocalypse in 96. So hardcover from 1963 to 1996. That is amazing. All these books, there's so much love for these books and these stories. But yes, the X-Men continues all the way down here. And you know, where I don't have the omnibuses and the gaps, I pretty much have all the graphic novels, or most of them. But yeah, then it picks up again with the 12 and goes all the way up to Astonishing X-Men. Some of these I can't believe they exist. Like, Revolution, people hated that so much when Chris Claremont came back to the book in 2000. The fact that it's collected in a nice prestige format like this just blows my mind. But I'm happy for it. But then it continues on, and you can tell around the time of Avengers vs. X-Men, I kind of lost interest into what was going on in modern stuff. And that's why you don't see a lot past that. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to be snobby to the new stuff that's coming out. Well, I mean, God, it's been a decade now, you know, at least. So, I'm just so lost when I try to look into it. I tried to get into the House of X, and I don't know, I couldn't really do it. But, it is what it is. Then we have X Factor, and then Captain Britain. These original hardcovers that collect all the old stuff. When he was in that red and blue suit, and then when Alan Davis and Alan Moore just transformed him into just an amazing character. And then I got room here for the Excalibur omnibus when it comes out. It should be coming out this week, actually. Ecstatics omnibus, which is amazing that they fit the whole thing in one book. I'm also gonna have room here for the New Mutants omnibus when it comes out. X-Force, Cable, Deadpool, and then we go into my Wolverine collection. Alpha Flight Classics, those are great. old John Byrne stuff. So yeah, X-Men takes up 1, 2, 3, 4.5, almost 4 1/3 shelves on this whole thing. So that's impressive. And then we have the Avengers, first couple Avengers omnibuses and some epic collections. All of Kurt Busiek's run here in these massive hardcovers. That's a great run. I wish they would put Roger Stern's run, because that's my favorite Avengers in one big book. And then we have our Captain America, Jack Kirby stuff in trade. I need to get the second Epic collection. Get the rest of the Kirby stuff. And some Iron Man epics. I don't really have a big Thor section. Just a handful of epics and all of Walter Simonson's run. It's also small on the Hulk front here. It continues on down here. Some She-Hulk stuff. Hulk the End. FF. They announced the Volume 4 omnibus is coming out, so that'll be the entirety of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's run on the book in oversized hardcover. That's going to be nice. And I didn't pick up the Byrne omnibuses because the John Byrne run I have in these really nice Fantastic Four Visionary trade paperbacks. And so, also have Simonson's run, a whole bunch of Perez books. Mark Waid's run in oversized hardcover there. Then first 2 Amazing Spider-Man's omnibuses, and then a couple of Masterworks that pick up where that leaves off. And over here, just a kind of a smattering of different books here and there that collect a lot of the main stuff, all of J.M. Straczynski and John Romita Jr.'s Spider-Man are in these volumes here. So those are just great. All of Frank Miller's Daredevil. And then we just kind of have some random stuff. There's Punisher, Namor, Inhuman, Silver Surfer. We got the Sentry, Captain Universe. Not much Doctor Strange in here. The complete Lee and Steranko Shield, Jim Starlin's Warlock, Machine Man, so on and so forth. Man-Thing omnibus is just, that book doesn't get the good credit it deserves. That is really great stories. And that Howard the Duck, that's actually the only omnibus I've ever double dipped on. I bought it, read it, loved it, but then thought to myself I was never gonna read it again. And I traded it to someone for, I think it was one of the X-Men by Chris Claremont and Jim Lee omnibuses. And then I regretted it, but fortunately it came in second printing, so I bought it again. So this is another one of those books I can't believe exists. The Secret Wars 2. The thing is massive. You can kill somebody with that book. And then, What If collection. Some of the Heroes Were Born. I don't know why I own those. Marvels is a must in any collection. And got Earth X, which is another must. Not so much the sequels, which they're not bad. They're just Amazing Fantasy. That is a beautiful omnibus. Then we got some zombie stuff. And the Marvel stuff ends with my Chris Claremont Marvel Universe omnibus. And then we go to blankets. Of course, you have to have blankets. There's my Groot collection. This, The Sculptor by Scott McCloud. I recommend that to anybody. I mean, that is a beautiful story. I just absolutely love it. But yeah, then I don't really have a lot outside of Marvel. I know I'm a big Marvel geek. But we have some stuff. There's a Madman book in there somewhere. A little bit of Buffy. I used to have the omnibuses, but I sold them. Some Star Wars. Of course, Sandman. I'd love to get the deluxe omnibuses, recolored omnibuses of those. Someday I will, because that definitely needs to be on the shelf. And then a whole bunch of Batman books, Superman books. Unfortunately, a lot of them I haven't read. and more DC stuff, and then it goes into had some power stuff there. For a short period of time, I was really into what Bendis was doing. And that passed. And then some, just here and there, Kabuki, some David Mack Kabuki, a couple of Hellboys. I couldn't get into it. And that's pretty much it. So, that is my geek room. And kind of get an overall view of it from up here. So I hope you dug me rambling on, and it's kind of weird just showing you all the cool stuff I have, but I see it online a lot, and people seem to dig these things. I know I like looking at other people's collections, so there's merit to it, I guess. But anyway, if you watch this, thanks for watching and all that and stuff.